News update at 6. I'm Carrie Roberts, making the news at this time. Energy Minister Dr. Rudal Munilal has announced the complete termination of the Safe to Work or STO certification regime, following what Minister Munilal described as widespread consultation with energy stakeholders. Speaking at Thursday's post-cabinet media briefing, he pointed out that STO was never part of TNT's law and instead evolved from a private agreement between the Energy Chamber and multinational operators.
The decision has been arrived at to terminate, to discontinue the STO requirement and revert to the ISO codes and other relevant codes that obtained before as per the entity in the energy sector. They will revert to that. I can also indicate that all state enterprises involved in the energy sector have also taken decisions, respectively, to do away, terminate, and/or discontinue the STO process for entry into the sector, which we believe to have been unfair.
The STO program provided an understanding of STO elements, equipping participants with the foundational skills required to meet STO TT minimum HSC management system requirements. Dr. Munilal reminded that this was a promise from the then opposition leader, now Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar, during the 2024-2025 budget debate, quoting her statement back then.
I quote, "It can cost hundreds of thousands to become STO certified. Certification is given for 1 or 2 years, after which the businesses must be recertified. STO, through the Energy Chamber, is holding companies to ransom by having a monopoly on who can conduct business in the energy sector, using health, safety, and the environment as a strangling tool."
Former independent senator and member of the Police Complaints Authority, Pastor Clive Doughton, has thrown his full support behind the proposed zones of special operations. Speaking on Talk City 91.1's Taking in Front show, Pastor Doughton said in addition to support for the zones of special operations, he believes the current police commissioner is the right man for the job.
He worked with the special branch for nearly 30 years. When a man, listen, that's why he could have go in the prison at midnight and grab some corrupt fellas and toss them out to Tetron. He's well informed.
Yes.
You know what special branch is? It's the special intelligence of the service and of the country. You know?
Thank you.
When a man could serve 30 years there, he knows secrets that no other commissioner would know.
Commenting on contributions to the Senate debate on the zones of special operations, Pastor Doughton is of the opinion that the current batch of independent senators are completely unaware of what is going on in society and expressed disappointment with their arguments.
And by the way, I want to tell Marley Nats and a lot of them, the same communities she say the government discriminating against, it have the majority of people in that community, they want a zone of special operation.
Well said.
They want a zone of special operation, but they're under pressure.
The Ministry of Sport and Youth Affairs officially launched their Keep Pumping Up Your Fitness aerobics program. It happened on Wednesday in the car park of the Evolution Fitness Center in Chaguanas. The initiative is part of a multi-component program set to take place at 7 locations across Trinidad and Tobago, which offers free instructor-led aerobic sessions to promote physical activity. Present at the event were the Minister of Sport and Youth Affairs, Philip Watts, and sports ambassadors Dwayne Bravo and Keyshawn Walcott.
Yeah, I believe that initiatives like this, especially knowing that it's fitness, you know, and that's kind of my background, so I would believe doing something like this, not just Carnival time, but all through the year will positively affect the nation, you know. Health and fitness is something that everybody should try to incorporate into their lifestyle. At the end of the day, we all want to live strong and healthy lives, so I think doing things like this throughout the year is really important for the nation.
And that's what's making the news this morning. But we are just around the corner from Trinidad and Tobago today, and we have our host, Vermala Bakaran. Good morning, Vermala.
Good morning, Carrie. How are you? Actually, I should say morning.
Hey, morning.
You know, since we talked about that, everyone says morning multiple times to me.
I mean, you set a trend here now, right?
Carrie, did you know it's pie day? What's your favorite kind of pie?
So there's this place close by to work that I go and I get some nice greasy pies, like aloo pies and baigan pies and beef pies and stuff. Yeah, that's my thing.
That sounds really greasy, and it sounds like that may be a plan today. Well, Carrie, we get ready to end of the week with an exclusive that you don't want to miss on the show today. That's all I'll say for now. When we come back, you'll find out on Trinidad and Tobago today.
All right, looking forward to it. Thanks so much, Vimala.
You're welcome.
When we come back, the Trinidad and Tobago Today morning show gets going after this break.
Next, 99.1 FM, Soca Dominion, where Soca lives.
Give me a chance to wine on you, so I can win with you, and I can chat with you. Give me another chance to
Carnival is more than a season. It's who we are. It's rhythm, color, history, and pure vibes from start to finish. And this Carnival, TTT, in partnership with the National Carnival Commission, is bringing you all the major moments, live and full of energy. We kick things off with the youths of Steel at Junior Panorama. Then it's Pan, Power, all the way at Panorama, where the music hits hard and the passion runs dry. Celebrate the future of Calypso at the Junior Calypso Monarch and witness the lyrical mastery at Calypso Fiesta. Then step back into history with the reenactment of the Cambile riots. Don't miss the creativity and spectacle of the kings and queens of Carnival. And be sure to stay tuned as we turn it all the way up for Dimashgra. Pure performance, pure pageantry, pure Carnival magic. Then follow the heartbeat of the nation with the parade of the bands on Carnival Monday and Tuesday, when the streets come alive with color, rhythm, and freedom. Live broadcasts, special shows, all the vibes. This Carnival season, don't just watch it, feel it, live it, experience it, right here on TTT.
Tune in for CZIT's National Secondary Schools Climate Quiz, brought to you by Fruta.
When it matters, we're there, reporting the news as it happens, because your world can't wait. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Throwback Thursdays on TTT takes a whole new meaning this Carnival season. We're digging into the archives and bringing you the moment that made Carnival unforgettable. The music that made us throw our waistlines. The fetes that had flags waving. And the energy that carried us from the stage to the road. From iconic performances to unforgettable stage moments. From Panorama to Dimashgra. From Soca Monarch to concerts, where one beat could mash up the whole place. This is the Carnival we know and love. Raw, real, unfiltered. The kind of Carnival that had us jamming without a care, living in the moment, and carrying the vibes long after the music stopped. This Carnival season, Throwback Thursday on TTT isn't just about looking back, it's about reconnecting with the spirit, the freedom, and the culture that live inside all of us. So whether you were there when it happened or experiencing it for the first time, pull up, tune in, and relive the vibes. Throwback Thursdays, the Carnival edition, only on TTT, the home of Carnival.
This is my everyday.
Friday, January 23rd, 2026. The time now, it's 6:08 a.m. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago and the world. I'm Vimala Balkaran, and welcome to Trinidad and Tobago Today. Taking a look at what's trending this morning, an update that affects thousands of people living and working among us as government moves ahead with a new migrant registration exercise. The Ministry of Homeland Security has announced that registration for undocumented migrants officially begins next week, Friday that is, under what's being called a new migration registration framework. According to National Security Minister Roger Alexander, this registration will apply to all undocumented migrants in Trinidad and Tobago, regardless of nationality, and it will be coordinated between the Ministries of National Security and Defense. Now, this process will start online, with migrants required to register at migrantregistration.gov.tt, after which they'll be scheduled for an in-person interview. Physical registration is then expected to begin after Carnival, and it will be done at several government facilities across the country, including the Larry Gomes Stadium in Arima, Atto Bolden Stadium in Couva, Hazley Crawford Stadium in Port of Spain, and the Dwight York Stadium in Tobago. There is a registration fee of $700 per person, with children included, and government says the system is partly digital to improve accountability and data accuracy, while also giving the migrants the opportunity to work legally. The warning, however, it is clear. Undocumented migrants who fail to register and are later found by authorities could face immediate deportation. So this is a major policy shift, and one we'll continue to follow closely, especially given the social and economic implications. And now to some Carnival season logistics. If you're heading to the Carnival Center, especially for food or vending, there's some good news. You no longer have to rely on cash alone. Digital payments have officially been rolled out at the Carnival Center following a point-of-sale distribution initiative by the National Payment and Innovation Company of Trinidad and Tobago, working alongside the National Carnival Commission. So what this means in practical terms is that vendors can now accept debit and credit cards alongside cash, making transactions faster for you and reducing the risks that come with, of course, handling large amounts of cash during peak Carnival activity. So far, about 30 point-of-sale terminals have already been distributed at the venue. Officials are saying this move is part of a wider push to expand access to digital payment infrastructure and to ensure that small and micro businesses aren't left behind as payment preferences, well, they continue to change, right? And realistically, for patrons too, it's one less thing to worry about when you're liming, eating, or you're moving through any crowded spaces. And finally, this morning, we turn to a story that continues to resonate deeply across the country: the Paria pipeline tragedy. Yesterday afternoon, government announced that the lone survivor and the families of the 4 divers who died in the 2022 Paria pipeline disaster will each receive $1 million in ex gratia payments. Now, this announcement was made after Prime Minister Kamla Prasad Bisesa met with several of the families at the Diplomatic Center in Port of Spain. The Energy Minister, Rudal Munilal, speaking after Cabinet, described the divers' deaths as slow, painful and terrifying, and criticized what he called the callous inaction and lack of urgency by the previous administration at the time. As a reminder, the tragedy occurred in February 2022 at Paria Fuel's Pointe-a-Pierre facility, where 5 men were sucked into a pipeline during an operation. Christopher Boudram was the only survivor, and his testimony during the Commission of Inquiry shocked the nation and exposed serious institutional failures. Government says these payments are meant to rectify a public wrong, and they noted that no legal impediment existed to providing financial relief, and that despite previous promises, no compensation was made to the families until now. However, even with the financial support, the families and the survivor have been clear that they are still seeking accountability, transparency, and justice. And of course, this is where we'll be going a little deeper this morning. Coming up inside the show today, an exclusive with Christopher Boudram and his wife, Candy. But of course, we take a break, and when we come back on Trinidad and Tobago today, we've got Dr. Andrew Dano joining us from Diabetes Association of Trinidad and Tobago.
Bring your team, bring your flags, bring your vibes. Next 99.1 FM is taking over the Savannah. Sunday 1st February, we are bringing the energy for Jam Iron on the greens. This one you don't want to miss, and it's all inclusive. So secure your packages early. Get yours today on islandetickets.com. Lock in your spot and lock in your team. Next 99.1 FM, the next level of radio.
Throwback Thursdays on TTT takes a whole new meaning this Carnival season. We're digging into the archives and bringing you the moment that made Carnival unforgettable. The music that made us throw our waistlines. The fetes that had flags waving. And the energy that carried us from the stage to the road. From iconic performances to unforgettable stage moments. From Panorama to the Marsh Gras. From Soca Monarch to concerts where one beat could mash up the whole place. This is the Carnival we know and love. Raw, real, unfiltered. The kind of carnival that had us jamming without a care, living in the moment and carrying the vibes long after the music stopped. This Carnival season, Throwback Thursday on TTT isn't just about looking back, it's about reconnecting with the spirit, the freedom and the culture that live inside all of us. So whether you were there when it happened or experiencing it for the first time, pull up, tune in and relive the vibes. Throwback Thursdays, the Carnival edition, only on TTT, the home of Carnival.
This is my everyday.
For the past 8 years, our next guest has led the Diabetes Association of Trinidad and Tobago as its president, championing better care and awareness nationwide. Now he's stepping into the role of incoming chair for the North American and Caribbean region of the International Diabetes Federation. Beyond that, he's a member of the Food Advisory Committee at the Ministry of Health, director of the Trinidad and Tobago Non-Communicable Disease Alliance, and a dedicated lecturer in biochemistry and biology. Good morning, Dr. Andrew Danu, and welcome to Trinidad and Tobago today.
Good morning. Good morning, Shala. I'm still going to call you Shala.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for having me. And congratulations. I'm really enjoying the program so far. I'm really happy to be here on your the second week of your shows.
Yeah, that's amazing, and you get to wrap us up. So, Andrew, you've been working so hard behind the scenes for everything diabetes happening in Trinidad and Tobago over the past, well, almost decade at this point. I've been very involved in the organization and seen the work. I'm also a champion of the organization, which is such an impressive institution. And I must say, congratulations on all the hard work and all the initiatives, the educational initiatives, everything that you've been doing. Such an amazing job. Also, you are not in Trinidad right now. So I know this was a push for you, so thanks for agreeing to this. So as president of the association, Andrew, what are some key initiatives currently underway?
So we have so much going on, and we always have things going on for diabetes. November is Diabetes Awareness Month, and we have a concentration of activities there. But throughout the year, we focus on people living with diabetes and people affected by diabetes. In particular, we have a strong focus on children now. So we work with children in primary schools and secondary schools, and we even want to target a little bit earlier. We want to target preschools this year, because the earlier we intervene, the healthier the long-term outcome would be. So we're gearing up to launch our National Diabetes School Quiz, and this is for Standard 3 children. We also have our sixth form internship program, and that's going to be in the summer. July, August vacation. We're going to open up applications for that very soon. And as I said, very soon we actually want to target younger and younger children and their parents, because we know that earlier on, or the earlier on that we try to incorporate these healthier lifestyle changes, these healthier habits, they last a lifetime. So we want to really target these children very, very young as well. Of course, beyond that, we have a lot going on with adults. We're doing diabetes education consistently. We have our branches. We have our 20 branches across the country which meet at least monthly. And of course, they also do outreach activities in their area. So we do testing, we do awareness, and we have lots of services available at our head office, which is in Chagona. So we do testing. We have an endocrinologist there. We have dietitians there. And we provide diabetes services and diabetes equipment as well. So for example, we have our continuous glucose monitors, which is what goes onto the skin and wirelessly monitors your blood sugar every minute. It's very important for people with diabetes to have that, and we've introduced it to Trinidad and Tobago, and we have it available. So beyond that, we have so much that we plan to do this year, and we're looking out to members of the public participating, and of course the media giving us that support throughout the year.
Yeah, you just took me back to the kids camp that we had, and it was really something to see these toddlers, dealing with diabetes and the burden of that, not necessarily burden, but the pressure that places on their family members as well, and the incredible job that their parents and caregivers do. So the association really does provide great support for both children and adults living with diabetes. So Andrew, I want to shift the conversation just a little bit. With Carnival approaching, what are your top tips for persons with diabetes? How do they stay safe during the festivities this Carnival season?
Yeah. So it's very important to understand that the diabetes doesn't go away during the festivities, whether it is Christmas or Diwali or Carnival, and it's important that people with diabetes prioritize their diabetes, simply because after the Carnival festivities, if it is that you don't take care of it during the Carnival, you're going to be paying for it afterwards. So first of all, if you're living with diabetes, you need to be able to make sure that you continue with your medications, whether it is the tablets that you're taking or the insulin that you're taking. Make sure you continue to take the medications consistently, and find ways to incorporate that into your habits, into the activities that you're doing. Now, another thing we often don't consider is just having enough to eat and consuming enough food during Carnival season. Sometimes people may want to drink alcohol and not consume food, and that's extremely dangerous. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit as well. But it's important to maintain the blood sugars if it is that your blood sugars are high or tend to go high. And we also need to consider that many persons with diabetes often have problems with very low blood sugars as well, and the blood sugars may drop because diabetes essentially is the body's inability to control blood sugars. So it means that it's going to go high, it's going to go low, and you need to be able to control it. So there are so many activities that are happening around Carnival time. One of the casualties of having to do so many things is sleep. And sleep is so important, not just so for anybody, but of course people who are living with a chronic disease. Because if it is that you don't get enough sleep, then of course stress hormones are going to build up, and these stress hormones actually cause you to not be able to manage what needs to be managed in the body, in particular your blood sugar. So getting enough sleep, eating on time, and having enough of the foods that you're supposed to eat, and of course taking the medications is very, very important. And of course, if it is that you do have issues or you do have questions for your particular diabetes case or any condition you may have, then you need to speak to your doctor about it. There's no harm in speaking to your doctor to say that I'm going to go to these fetes, so I'm going to go to play mass on the road. So it's very important, and especially for those who are doing those daylight activities in the hot sun. Being hydrated is extremely important, because not drinking enough water, one, could be able to wreak havoc on your blood sugars, but also could be able to could cause an exacerbation of the other things that you're doing to yourself. So for example, the alcohol. And I know we want to touch on that a little bit, and that's a very touchy subject in Trinidad and Tobago. Alcohol.
It definitely is. Actually, that was my next question to you. It is a bit controversial. You don't need to consume alcohol to have a good time, but it is a great part of, festivities during the carnival season. It's often a part of carnival, I should say. So what should people with diabetes know about alcohol consumption?
Yeah. So I'll tell you this, Now, just a few years ago, we used to think that having a little bit of alcohol was safe and was actually healthy for you. So I'm sure you've heard it that having a glass of wine or having a beer is actually good for your heart health. And we believe that. And only a few years ago, and actually last year, these positions actually changed. So the Centers for Disease Control, the CDC in the United States, Diabetes Canada, and also the Heart Foundation in Canada, and even the NHS in the UK now all agree that no amount of alcohol is safe. Now that's amazing. No amount of alcohol. We used to think that just last year these guidelines changed. So before, if you were to speak to me 2 years ago, I would have told you that you should always, everybody should have alcohol in moderation, and it's good for something. But what we're actually seeing now is, even though alcohol has some protective effect on your cardiovascular system, your heart, it actually increases your risk for cancer. And alcohol is actually the third leading cause of cancers. Cancers from your mouth all the way to the anus, all the way in between. Cancers are caused primarily, of course, by smoking. And as we know that smoking is the number one cause, but alcohol is the third highest. Alcohol is actually very, very bad for someone living with diabetes, not just for persons. I'm saying persons who are not living with diabetes, it's bad. So if it is that you're living with diabetes, it's even worse. And the problem is that alcohol, again, is going to wreak havoc on your blood sugars. Now, I'm not saying if somebody is drinking 5 drinks a day, they need to go to zero tomorrow. We want persons to go down to zero eventually, but of course you need to taper off. But for persons with diabetes especially, alcohol is going to either cause your blood sugar to raise considerably or drop considerably, or both. And we need to understand that drinking alcohol essentially is a toxin. And when it goes into your body treats it as a toxin. And primarily your liver, which is the powerhouse or the chemical reaction factory of the body. It breaks down everything in the body, and it also provides all of the things that your body need when it is that you're not eating. So if it is that you're drinking alcohol, one of the first things that happens is everything else kind of shuts down, and priority is given to break down this alcohol. So there's an enzyme in the liver called alcohol dehydrogenase. And this is a particularly important enzyme because this is what is going to break down the alcohol. Breaks down the alcohol into another compound, acetaldehyde. But this alcohol dehydrogenase is important. Now, when this is being broken down, again, one of the most important things that your body also does, your liver also does, is make glucose. Your body makes sugar. And this happens when it is you're not eating. This happens when you're sleeping. Your body makes sugar. And the thing is, if it is that you drink the alcohol, the ability of the body to make the sugar is going to drop. Now, this is why after a period of time, your blood sugar actually drops when you're drinking alcohol. So after about 4 or 5 hours, your blood sugar starts to drop. But that's the long-term effect. Immediately, most people are drinking alcohol with a lot of sugar in it anyway. So you're drinking these cocktails, you're drinking the wine, you're drinking the beer, and this has a lot of sugar naturally. And when you drink it initially, your blood sugars are going to spike. So your blood sugars are spiking initially, and a few hours later, your blood sugar is going to drop. But the more dangerous of this is when your blood sugar drops. Because when your blood sugar drops, it's a very similar feeling to when you're feeling tipsy or when you're drunk. So for the average person who is drinking, they may feel they're getting drunk, they may feel they're getting tipsy. That's a person who's living with diabetes, but actually your blood sugars are going dangerously low.
Wow.
Low blood sugars are extremely dangerous.
Well, Andrew, are there any new findings or updated recommendations regarding alcohol and diabetes now that we're on that topic?
Yeah. So definitely. So now that all of these international bodies agree, our association, the Diabetes Association, is also going to agree with the evidence, because the evidence is overwhelming that no amount of alcohol is safe. No amount of alcohol for people with diabetes is safe. So we especially want people who are living with diabetes and on medications. So persons who are on insulin, persons who are on sulfonylureas like glycoside, we want those persons to try to taper off, try to cut back the alcohol, because it's going to be wreaking havoc on your blood sugars. It's going to put you at increased risk of cancers, and it's also going to cause all manner of problems when it is that you're taking the alcohol. And oftentimes people who drink alcohol, they say, well, you know what? The doctor told me I can't drink because I'm on medication. So what do? Not take the medication and drink. And many persons are doing that, and then their blood sugars go out of control. And many times you end up with people who are very sick. And you would ask a lot of physicians that many times after holidays, this is the time when you often see people showing up. Because this is the time people don't take the medication. This is the time people do the things that they're not supposed to do. So the recommendation that we are putting out now is that no amount of alcohol is safe. And especially for younger people, and there are younger and younger people living with diabetes. I want to say that I support the move of the current government to raise the age for drinking, because the evidence is there, and it's overwhelmingly so, that if it is that you have someone who's young drinking alcohol, persons under the age of 20, 21 who are drinking alcohol, when the brain is still developing, it's like, and I'm sure you know it, Charla. You have pets. You know, when you cast concrete and a pet walk over the concrete,
yeah,
and the paw remains there forever.
Yeah,
it's the same thing with alcohol. So alcohol is like digging into wet concrete when you're young. So making sure that you limit how much you consume is so important.
Andrew, let's talk about diet. Just move a little bit away from alcohol. And diet is a big part of our culture, especially during Carnival season. So, you go to fat and the fat foods that you might want to, consume, or you're coming back from an event and you're hungry and you want to eat something, or you're on the road. Let's just touch on some small, realistic dietary swaps that you can make without feeling deprived during this Carnival season. Just little things that you can probably do to ensure that you don't spike your insulin levels.
Yeah. So at any time, we often tell people, and many persons who are diagnosed with diabetes often think they can't have ice cream, and they can't have cake, and they can't have bacon shack and doubles. But the thing is, you could have anything. People with diabetes could eat anything that they would like to eat. But of course, and we often say this, the key is moderation. Now, what is moderation? We need to understand, and here's where nutritionists and registered dietitians come in, and it's important to consult with them. Now, the thing about it is that when you go to these fetes, you could have all of these things, but they don't want to have an entire portion. So, lots of people pay for these all-inclusives, and they go and it's food galore, and they want to try everything. Maybe it is that you could try everything, but you could share with others, so you could be able to have a little bit of everything. But what's more important, and people don't often do it, is you eat before you go to the fete, especially if you're going to drink. You consume something, you eat something before you go, and when you do that, you're not as hungry, because oftentimes when you're very, very hungry, you eat more than you're supposed to eat. And a point to understand is when you're eating, the signal that goes to your brain, that actually tells your brain that you're full, that comes from your stomach and your gut, actually takes about half an hour. Meaning that after you start to eat, only about half an hour after does that signal go to your brain and tell you you're full. So if it is that you're eating more than you're supposed to eat within that half an hour, what's going to happen is that you're going to overeat. So that's why it's always important to have a portion of food before. And if it is that you, wait about a half an hour, and if it is you're still hungry, it means that, yes, you actually need more food, and then you go and you eat some more. But if it is after half an hour, you're satisfied, it means that you're really not supposed to be eating so much. So eat a little bit before you go, eat small portions, share those portions, and of course, mix it up and make sure you include some of the healthier things. So make sure you include fresh fruits and vegetables, make sure you include water, make sure you choose those sugar-free options or low-sugar options when it comes to drinks. And of course, even the desserts, you could have desserts, but have a little bit of it at a time. And this goes for everybody, not just people living with diabetes. So try to eat in moderation. And of course, you need to balance that off with the exercise that you do, because oftentimes, if it is that you are going to these carnival fetes, you are burning a lot of calories, you're exercising a lot, which is good. But of course, some people don't. Some people don't, and they just go and eat and they stand and they talk. And so it's important to consider those things.
Well, Andrew, on a final note, what upcoming plans does the Diabetes Association have, and how can people get in contact with the association or access the resources?
Yeah, definitely. So we have again so many things happening for all age groups all around the country, Trinidad and Tobago. You could get in contact with us by giving us a call. Our phone number is 607-3288. That's 607 that. You can reach us on any of our social media networks on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and also visit our website diabetes-tt.org.
Andrew, what's the next event on the calendar for us? I feel like I need a reminder on this one.
There's always something, but the next thing is going to actually be our quiz or diabetes school quiz. So that's going
I should remember this.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're going to be our host.
So the quiz is coming up. When is that happening?
So the quiz is going to start from actually next few weeks. The next couple of weeks, preliminary round is going to start. So if you have a child in standard 3, then you need to get involved in the quiz. Last year, we had over 1,000 participants, 1,000 standard 3 children, and we've actually seen that over the period of the last 3 or 4 years we've been having the quiz, the children are actually remembering things and they're putting it into practice. So
it is so impressive, Andrew, the kind of information, the kind of words that we have coming out of these quizzes, and you're wondering, how do these children know or retain all of this? But it's important that we start, just creating that environment where diabetes awareness comes from the school system from a very early age. Well, thank you so much, Andrew. Any closing words, any advice to anyone maybe playing mass this carnival season, managing diabetes?
So again, just to recap, if it is that you want to drink alcohol, try to reduce how much you drink. Try to move towards reducing the amount of alcohol that you consume, but also if it is that you're going to drink alcohol, make sure you keep hydrated, make sure you eat before you drink the alcohol. And also if you think you're feeling drunk, if you think you're feeling dizzy, it may be that your blood sugars are low. So to test your blood sugars, go on the road with your blood sugar monitor, that's fine. Use the CGMs, we have CGMs available, and that will be able to help you manage.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Andrew Danu from the Diabetes Association of Trinidad and Tobago, and good morning to all the staff of the Chaguanas branch. Always amazing. Amy, Alicia, everyone, thank you so much. When we come back, Carrie has something special in store for us today on Trinidad and Tobago Today. You don't want to miss that.
Bring your flags, bring your vibes. Next 99.1 FM is taking over the savannah. Sunday 1st February, we are bringing the energy for Jam Iron on the greens. This one you don't want to miss, and it's all inclusive. So secure your packages early. Get yours today on islandetickets.com. Lock in your spot and lock in your team. Next 99.1 FM, the next level of radio.
Tune in for CZ's National Secondary Schools Climate Quiz, brought to you by Fruta.
Every morning begins with a story, the headlines you need, the voices you trust, the conversations shaping our nation. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago Today, where your day starts informed and inspired. News that matters to you, conversations that spark new ideas, stories that move Trinidad and Tobago forward. Tune in weekdays, Monday to Friday at 6 a.m. or join the conversation on any smart device at TNT Today Show. Trinidad and Tobago Today. Start here, exclusively on TTT.
That's why I will live, tell them what our people, hey, right now we our people, I say Eva. Don't put me in no chill out. Oh Lord, celebrating life when I wake up in the morning. I tell you one, if you that's why I live in for tonight. Hey.
Your news, anytime, anywhere. Join us nightly at 7. TTT News. Committed, accurate, relevant.
We culture, we stories, we movies. This Saturday on TTT, it's our voices, our lives on our screens. At 8:35 p.m., Trinidad Remains takes you on a rough journey home. Family tension, hard truths, and a road trip that doesn't go as planned. Then at 8:50 p.m., Bazadi turns up the heat. Love, desire, and carnival energy colliding like a slow wine when the rhythm hits just right. These aren't borrowed stories. This is our culture, our experiences. Trinidad Remains 8:35 p.m. and Bazadi 8:50 p.m. this Saturday on TTT. We culture, we stories, we movies. Only on TTT.
Sessions to Savannah Anthem, we're getting an inside look at what it really takes to craft rhythms and tracks that fuel the fets and dominate playlists across the region. From Trinidad and Tobago today's studio to the studio of a prominent music producer with Carrie Roberts.
Today, I'm chatting with a name that has been shaping the sound of Carnival from behind the scenes. Top music producer Mevon Sudin, better known as Explicit Mevon, is the creative voice behind Marshall Montano's road march hit, Party. And this season, he's back again, this time with Encore, another Marshall Montano track that's already getting major love across social media and the airwaves. From studio sessions to Savannah anthems, we're getting an inside look at what it really takes to produce a Carnival hit. Thank you for inviting us to your studio, Mevon. You know, when people hear a Carnival hit, they only hear a few minutes of music, but walk us through the process of what it takes from when somebody walks through that door to the final track.
Well, sometimes it varies, because a lot of the times the creative process starts with me. You know, I would build the beats, or I might have the concept, or I might be working with writers, and then we start the process in-house first, and then we present a demo to an artist. You know, so very rarely I find in modern times you have artists coming to producers with ideas. Most of the times now in modern times, producers and writers kind of curate songs first and produce a demo and then pitch it to various artists. Wherever it lands, it sticks. Soca is a very it's not stagnant. It evolves with time, and it kind of adopts what is the trending global music at the time. So you would see, like, years gone by, we'd have the EDM pop influence, you'll have the techno, you'll have the Afro beats, and I feel like in the last couple of years we have really brought it back home. You know, a calypso is really strong in the modern 2025, 2026 era of soca, which I think is a great thing. And because of that, I do believe that paying attention to what is out there now, you kind of have to go with the wave. I mean, yes, you could go against the grain and stand out, but there's an overall sound, and when you listen and you pay attention to it, you kind of know this is the sound of this season or of this era. And knowing that, I mean, sometimes it's done purposely, and then sometimes it's just by luck and chance. You know, we just in the studio creating whatever feels good to us at the point in time, but the universe has a weird way of shaping things and making things align in other spaces as well. So when you hear other songs come out at the same time, you'll be like, wait, they're on the same vibe as me. And it's something that I really can't explain. You know, sometimes it's just in the air, as they say. You know, it's just the bug that just kind of bites people, the carnival bug is just take over.
Right.
And everybody is just kind of be on that same wavelength. So for me personally, working on music is really a personal thing. It really is how I feel at the point in time. Because when I make beats, before I send it to anybody, it's just my form of expression. So I am just expressing my creative self and hoping somebody like it. Because there's no guarantee that they might like it or a big artist might take it.
Right.
You know,
yeah.
I might make 100 beats and you might hear 10 songs. That's a 90% failure.
Well, I mean,
you know,
in those terms.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So 90% of my beats never made it out. But you hear in the top 10 songs.
Right,
You understand? So it's really about experimenting and getting it wrong. I think getting it wrong makes you get it right eventually. Is a huge lesson to learn. So I think it's a real creative process of figuring it out and experimentation, and then hoping
Right.
that somebody else catch your vibe.
Yeah. So how do you balance that then? Like, again, using the example of 100 songs and only 10 make it. How do you keep pushing yourself and keeping yourself encouraged to want to continue to create more?
Encourage is a real good word, because it can be a very, very cruel. It's very, very cruel, and it's very harsh at times. You really have to be cut out for it, because you can't be too emotional or too emotionally connected to things, because music is subjective. I might love something and I send it to you and be like, boy, nah, boy, that isn't it,
Yeah.
Just don't have a vibe. But you just do connect it at that level that I did. So understanding that music is subjective, it kind of sets you up mentally to prepare for rejection or disappointment, or people that's not really feeling it.
Yeah.
Because I don't like something, don't mean it's not good.
Okay.
It might just be not for me. Or maybe I might not be in the mental space to really deal with a beat like that or a song like that.
So how do you separate, like when you hear a hit, producers like yourself, you're like, it's a hit at the point in time. How do you get to that point? Well, after having created things that you may have found was good, but it didn't hit in the season or whatever the case may be, and then something else you create is a one-time hit, is like a hit immediately.
Well, I could actually flip that question on you, because I'm the worst person to judge hits. Because my track record is solid right now.
Right.
Every song I hate becomes hits.
Yeah.
Like Party, I didn't love Party.
Right.
I felt it was kind of a risk.
Yeah.
Party rather than party.
Yeah.
And it is just anthem on the top. It was different. But taking risk is part of it.
For sure.
So I was back and forth with the writers. I was like, fellas, well, this show, boy. I was like, Marshall might be the only man we could get to do this.
Yeah.
And he heard it, and he was doubtful at first too. And then he eventually listened. He was like, yo, nah, boy, let's have something in it.
Yeah.
And when it is you realize that the artists believe in it, I was like, wait, okay, maybe we have something that I'm missing.
Right.
And once again, taking yourself out of it, because it's not about me. At that point in time, it's about the song. And then if it is everybody else is on board, meaning the writer, the other producer, the artists themselves, and everybody on the team, because it's not me alone, there's other people involved in creating music. If you have that team really saying, wait, this could be a hit, then I start to believe as well too. But there are some songs where I do in fact love, and I like Take Me Home was one of them. I always had a emotional connection to that song, and that song actually took a while to build. It didn't hit one time.
That's true.
Said.
That's true.
It kind of blew up after the season.
Yeah.
So it really varies, and you just have to be prepared for that.
I want to go back to Paria a little bit. It went on to become Road March. Looking back at that, like, what do you think set that song apart from everything else that was on the road that year?
I think Paria resonated with the everyday person, from a child to the working class. It shows the message of really working hard for what it is you want, and when you have that opportunity to celebrate, that's what Carnival is about too. People save for months. People take loans to play mass.
True.
Even those who not playing mass, like a primary school child would go to school, and then at the end of every term, you have a class party.
Right.
And that was represented in the video.
Yeah.
It shows that after Easter term test is class party. Yeah. After summertime is class party. Christmas class party. Even work. End the year function, you have a Christmas party. That is how the Trinidadian, population really exists now. We work hard and we celebrate after Friday. People working weekly, they get paid weekly or they get paid monthly. When they get our paycheck, it's like, yeah, boy, we outside. So it really resonated from all aspects of society. So I think that really set that song apart, because how relatable it was to the everyday man.
Yeah. And you've worked closely with Marshall Montano. What makes that producer-artist relationship work, especially during the high-pressure Carnival season?
Yeah. Marshall is a genius at what he does. But I am also a student of the game. He's also a student of the game, because he did his master's in Carnival studies.
Right.
So he understands the culture from a technical standpoint and also a theoretical standpoint. So he's not just a creative, he has that left brain, right brain mentality.
Right,
So he
yeah.
learns how to apply different things at different times. Marshall is also very much in tune with what is trending, and he listens to people.
Okay.
He knows that he's not a producer per se, and he trusts me and the writers and the other people involved so that he can focus on being the best artist.
Yeah.
So he is really coordinated. He's like, okay, you are the producer, you are the writer, you do what you are great at,
Right.
let me do what I am great at.
Yeah.
And I think that trust, and from my standpoint too, having a legend put his trust in me, it gives me the confidence to really explore and really push it forward now, you know. So I think that relationship is definitely something that is inspiring.
You know, and the relationship continues because your latest track with Marshall is Encore. You know, it has been getting strong reactions online. How important do you think social media is and social media feedback in the Carnival music space?
Well, the world is changing. Social media is definitely a part of the culture of life.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just about music alone. So, the opinions of everyone suddenly matters, and you hear everyone's opinion. Before it didn't have that. It was more mainstream media, TV, radio, newspaper, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Now you have TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Everybody have a voice.
Right.
So you know, you kind of hear in the good and the bad of it. It's ready to just filter through, but then also pay attention to the bad too, because you don't want to live in a silo of yes men and positive reactions only.
Right.
You need to take the good or the bad and listen and really channel in and say, okay, maybe they have a point. Should I take this and enhance this?
Right.
Or how can I address this problem they have with this song?
Yeah.
If it is you realizing there's a trend in negative things that everybody's aligned with, then it must have been something we missed.
Right.
So you have to pay attention to both sides. Now they say like, yeah, boy, that song real bad and run with that. No.
Yeah.
If people saying they don't like certain things about it, then it may be true.
You have written music for Marshall as well, but you've also done so for Bungie.
Correct.
You know, and this year, if we're looking at the charts and the feedback so far, you know, their songs are going head to head, but you produce them both.
Yeah.
How does that dynamic happen and work for you?
First of all, I know that I'm in a very unique but very fortunate position to be in this position. People are saying it's Mevon versus Mevon. I'm thankful to hear that.
Right.
Because I know road match is judged by the people. You know, it's not my opinion. If the consensus is that, hey, Mevon, 2 songs going head to head, Marshall versus Bungie, 2 titans coming against each other, it's a blessing to be on both sides now.
Yeah.
You know, I tell people it's like going to a sports day and have your 2 kids running a race. You can't back one.
Right, yeah.
I want my both cheering to win. You know, so I root in them both, you know.
No, definitely.
You know, there's no love lost between anybody. And then it was full transparency. I told Bungie I had a song with Marshall.
Yeah.
I told Marshall I had a song with Bungie. I was like, hey, I just do my job at the end of the day, you know. It's not nobody picking sides or anything. And they both understand.
Yeah.
And they both up for the competition, you know. Bungie said he's not entering, but we'll see how that goes.
Really
but
well.
still, the voice of the people is the voice of God. And they putting it up against each other. I'm really just thankful to be in this position.
Yeah, and as you said, it's a unique position
It's
to be
very
in.
unique.
You know, Carnival production comes with tight deadlines, high expectations. What's the biggest challenge you face during the season?
I think you just answered the question there. Being a creative, we're not really accustomed to people telling us we need it now. You know, it kind of stifles creativity.
Yeah.
That's why I said even with me, my creative process is Ash Wednesday till like September, where I have nobody jumping me to like, I want a road march, I want a power song, I want a song for Soca Monarch, or I want a this and I want a that. It's just me creating in my own time, my own space. You know, so when it is the season heats up and you have all these demands on you, physical demands, mental demands, creative demands, it's just a lot sometimes, and it's really about balancing your work life, you know, relationship, because it is very demanding and very taxing on your body too, and your mind, because you have to do so much. You're not sleeping properly, late nights, early mornings, you have interviews, you have video shoots, you have sessions, recordings. It's a lot. So it's really about finding that balance and being intentional about everything that you do.
Right.
You know, if I want to set time for me, I need to set time for me.
Right.
If I'm setting time for studio, let's be organized. It's really about categorizing and compartmentalizing things.
And that sounds like pro tips
It
right
is.
there,
It
for
is. I live in
you
it.
who have been in the industry for a while.
Yeah.
But for young producers watching and hoping to break into the Carnival music scene, what skills or mindset do they have to develop before getting themselves in?
I think one of the biggest things I had to learn when I started doing soca full time was learning the industry. Because I came from just creating any kind of music,
Right.
hip hop, parang, any kind of thing I was doing. And there wasn't really a defined set of rules.
Right.
But with soca, it's very organized.
Yeah.
There's key players in the game.
Mhm.
There's key rules. There's time frames in which to release music. It's very rigid.
Right.
So you need to learn that. You need to learn who you need to talk to, who you need to align with, who are the writers, the producers, the radio stations, the DJs, the promoters, the
Right.
artists.
Yep.
There's a lot of moving parts.
A whole
So
ecosystem.
It's a whole ecosystem.
Yeah.
So you need to kind of pay attention to that and align yourself or familiarize yourself with the game itself.
Right.
Understand the business, because the pricing for soca in terms of producing a song as compared to doing any other genre is not the same.
Right.
So understanding your pricing points, because that business at the end of the day you're running, right? You gotta get paid. So knowing how much to charge, when not to charge, all of these different things is key things that I had to learn
Right.
when I came into the game. So learn the business, learn the game, learn the players in the game, and I would definitely say learn your craft, your craft.
From Road March Glory to shaping the soundtrack of Carnival, Explicit Mevon is one of the producers who continues to prove that the magic doesn't just happen on the road, it starts in the studio.
Hey, as they say, front page is where legends belong, but backstage is where legends are born.
Oh, I could not say it better myself. I couldn't say it better myself, brother.
Yeah, man.
Thank you. Blessings.
Blessings.
Stay with us. There's more coming up.
Mavon Sudeen, Explicit Mavon. Thank you so much, Carrie. I hope you rewarded yourself after that with some nice greasy pies, Carrie. Maybe we'll have to take you up on that to get the experience of that. When we come back inside Trinidad and Tobago today, we've got so much more about the culture, Carnival, and that exclusive you don't want to miss.
Watch the passion building and the voices roaring with the mission done and the game is won. With the music talking and the big stage calling, the culture comes alive and it's just endless vibes. The future's bright, we'll be more bright. Now it's sweet time, the time to shine. Life is on, it's no time to be timid. So chase those dreams, live without limit. Is on with B Mobile. That's why I will live. Tell them what happy place. Hey, right over to the happy place. I say Eva. Right over to the happy place. Upstairs, wave. Everybody, tell them. Hey, everybody wave. Do me a favor, don't tell me about behavior. I tell you, don't push me, you don't chill out. Say, oh Lord, celebrating life when I wake up in the morning. I tell you, and if you say, that's why I live it for tonight. Hey.
Carnival is more than a season. It's who we are. It's rhythm, color, history, and pure vibes from start to finish. And this Carnival TTT, in partnership with the National Carnival Commission, is bringing you all the major moments live and full of energy. We kick things off with the youths of Steel at Junior Panorama. Then it's Pan Power all the way at Panorama, where the music hits hard and the passion runs dry. Celebrate Celebrate the future of Calypso at the Junior Calypso Monarch and witness the lyrical mastery at Calypso Fiesta. Then step back into history with the reenactment of the Cambile riots. Don't miss the creativity and spectacle of the kings and queens of Carnival. And be sure to stay tuned as we turn it all the way up for the March Gras. Pure performance, pure pageantry, pure Carnival magic. Then follow the heartbeat of the nation with the Parade of the Bands on Carnival Monday and Tuesday, when the streets come alive with color, rhythm, and freedom. Live broadcasts, special shows, all the vibes. This Carnival season, don't just watch it, feel it, live it, experience it, right here on TTT.
TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Good morning. This is your TTT News update at 7. I'm Carrie Roberts, making the news at this time. Energy Minister Dr. Ruda Munilal has confirmed that the ultra-deepwater exploration program involving ExxonMobil has advanced far ahead of schedule. Speaking during Thursday's post-cabinet media briefing, he revealed that the seismic vessel Amazon Warrior is now docked in TNT and preparing to begin a 5-month 3D seismic survey. He said the vessel is set to depart Chaguaramas on Sunday and will begin mapping the offshore territory covered under the production sharing contract signed with ExxonMobil in August 2025.
You may be aware that the vessel Amazon Warrior, the vessel that will undertake the seismic scientific exploration and collect the seismic data over the ultra-deep water block, is in Trinidad and Tobago waters and will depart on Sunday from Chaguaramas to begin its work. They expect to be on the East Coast Marine area to conduct 3D seismic survey across the deep water block that has been contracted with Exxon.
He stressed that government has worked to accelerate all approvals.
Has happened again way ahead of schedule. We were looking at the first quarter. This is of course the first month of the year, so we are way ahead of schedule with the conduct of 3D seismic surveys in those areas. We are very optimistic that this will yield significant, if not incredible, results for Trinidad and Tobago.
In other news, Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar has strongly defended the proposed Zones of Special Operations, or ZOSO, bill, insisting the legislation is designed to protect law-abiding citizens from violent crime rather than infringe on their rights. She said the bill provides security forces with targeted, time-limited powers to restore order in communities plagued by serious criminal activity, while maintaining safeguards to prevent abuse. The Prime Minister stressed that ordinary citizens who respect the law have nothing to fear, noting that the measures are focused squarely on criminals who terrorize neighborhoods. In a statement, the Prime Minister criticized opposition parties and some civil society groups for opposing the bill, arguing that their focus has been placed on the rights of criminals rather than the suffering of victims. She said violent crime has had devastating effects on families and communities, including psychological trauma, displacement from homes, and fear among children living in affected areas. The Zones of Special Operations Bill allows the Prime Minister, as head of the National Security Council, with the Commissioner of Police and the Chief of Defence Staff, to declare a defined area of a zone of special operations for up to 180 days. An intelligence-led operation conducted by officers of the Southwestern Division has resulted in the arrest of 4 suspects and the seizure of 8 firearms and quantities of assorted ammunition. On Wednesday morning, police conducted searches in the Penal District, which led to the discovery of 6 illegal firearms, together with 222 rounds of assorted ammunition. 2 suspects, a 41-year-old woman and a 57-year-old man, were arrested in connection with the finds. Simultaneous searches were also conducted in the district where 2 firearms and 25 rounds of ammunition were found inside a red cigar case. 2 suspects were arrested in connection with the find. In some sport now, the Trinidad and Tobago men's under-20 football team will take on the Grenada under-20 team in the final match of their Invitational Series at the Ato Bolden Stadium this evening. The match, which is scheduled for an 8 p.m. start time, follows a 6-0 victory over St. Vincent and the Grenadines and a 5-0 win against AC Port of Spain on Wednesday. The series of friendly matches are geared at providing key match preparations as T&T, led by head coach Marvin Gordon, are preparing for CONCACAF Men's Under-20 World Cup qualifiers set to begin in February. And that was your news update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Have a good morning.
She love the roti, she love the choka, she love the bacon. You ever jump in a car after a fete knowing that the driver more tipsy than you? Yeah, you make it home, but not everybody lucky like you. No, we're not taking that chance in Carnival 2026, alright? We're making better choices. Choose a designated driver or book a ride. Remember, better choices, safer Carnival. I could pick mango, I could pick guava, I could pick tamarind. We're making better choices, so designate a driver. Polo! Roti, she love the choka, she love the bacon.
Health and wellness, the core of our existence on planet Earth. Let us hear the voices of our very own citizens, our local and regional medical community, scientists and climatologists. Caribbean Medical TV is geared to developing a consciousness in our people in terms of our health and lifestyle. Knowledge is a very powerful tool, and we must empower ourselves with the information to protect against chronic and other related diseases. From the impact of climate change on our health to NCDs, Season 3 of Caribbean Medical TV tackles the challenges we all face, giving our citizens hope for a better tomorrow. Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV.
Line and Length, the #1 cricket program in the West Indies, is on TTT. Line and Length brings you up-to-date interviews, analysis, and highlights on the game in the region and internationally. Line and Length in association with Massey United Insurance on TTT.
Heard about the Harvard College Steelpan Ensemble? Well, today you definitely will. Joining me in studio this morning, Adam Bartholomew and Elizabeth Bennett. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So I understand that, Adam, you are Trini.
Yep.
Elizabeth, you are not.
No, I'm not.
So you're British?
Yes.
Yes. And you have both founded the Harvard College Steelpan Ensemble. Tell us how that came about.
Yeah, so Adam and I both grew up playing Steelpan, Adam in Trinidad and me in the UK. And we met in our first week of Harvard through the first year international program. We were put in the same group and we got talking about our experience with Steelpan. And Adam was, I think, quite surprised to hear that I had also learnt to play Steelpan growing up in the UK. And we realised that there was no Steelpan ensemble at Harvard. So we thought, okay, I guess we've got to found one because we wanted to make this happen at Harvard as well.
Yeah, and a space like Harvard as well, it's very interesting to bring the Steelpan to that space. How was that, and what was the reception like? How did people take it at first?
Well, before we could talk about the reception, we have to talk about the kind of struggle that it was to start the ensemble.
Tell us about that.
Because it took 2 years of getting through the red tape of becoming a recognized student organization, and then having to find a rehearsal space, because as you know, PANs take up a lot of space and need like a permanent rehearsal space on campus, and then also to find funding. So we did a lot of reaching out to different potential donors, but ultimately what led to us being able to get PANs was through a film that I made called Panazi's Story, which was about my uncle's Steelpan ensemble, Uncle Barry Bartholomew, from the 1990s, and they were trailblazers in taking the Steelpan around the world. So through that film, we were able to get a sponsorship by Mitco, which is the Steelpan factory based in Trinidad, and we asked if, in exchange for product placement in our film, they could provide us with PANs. So that sort of paved the way for us to start an ensemble at Harvard. So we're very grateful to Panaz and my uncle for that contribution towards us starting our ensemble. So then once we got our PANs in September 2024, it was about recruiting members, and we had no audition required, so anybody with interest in starting Steelpan from all different backgrounds were able to join, and over the past year and a half, we've been able to learn a repertoire, which we've now brought to Trinidad.
So is this your first time to Trinidad, Elizabeth?
It is my first time.
And you've been playing Pan, and you've never been to Trinidad until now?
That's right. I've been learning Pan since I was 13 years old. So when I went to high school, there was a teacher there called Jenny Gilberg, who played with the BP Renegades for 10 years. And she teaches Pan all across the northeast of England. So I was fortunate enough to learn it there, and I found this completely normal. I didn't realize it was actually quite unusual to learn Steelpan outside of Trinidad. And so the context in which I was learning Pan was gigs at English country fairs, sometimes in the snow or the rain. And so seeing Pan in its kind of natural context in Trinidad has been really amazing for me, to see all of the really big bands for the first time and see some of the Panyards and the Panorama finals.
And you're here at a really good time as well.
Exactly.
So you've been to any of the events since you've been here?
Yes, we got to see some of the Junior Panorama finals last weekend, and we've also been to see some of the Panyard rehearsals, which has been absolutely amazing.
And this may have been a really special moment for you as well, to bring, to allow her that experience that you grew up with. How long ago did you leave Trinidad?
Well, we both left our respective countries 4 years ago, because we're now seniors at Harvard.
Oh, wow.
So we are going to be actually graduating in May.
Oh, and then back home?
We'll see. Still trying to figure that out. But ideally, yes, home is always where the heart is.
Your family is probably looking on like, what is he going to say? Is he coming back home? Is he going to tell people that he's not? Is that how we're going to find out?
Hopefully soon, we'll know.
So now that you're here in Trinidad, you're obviously, just getting some inspiration from everywhere that you go. What are you going to take back with you in terms of the inspiration for the ensemble, and maybe like, things that you're going to put together, maybe compositions or anything like that?
I think we've definitely heard some really amazing arrangements while we've been here that we're kind of taking some inspiration from musically, because we both write arrangements for our group. But for me, I think the biggest takeaway from my experience in Trinidad is the pure energy that all of the ensembles have. I think with us being a smaller ensemble, we only have about 12 members. It's harder to bring that energy and that excitement to our performances, but we're trying to encourage our members to dance around a bit more and get more excited about the music.
So how many members are in the ensemble?
So we have about 12 members that we've brought here. There are a few more who weren't able to make it on tour, but we have pretty much a full small ensemble. And actually this evening we're going to be putting on a concert at Theatre 1 at UTT at Napa. And this concert is going to be in collaboration with some of the Steelpan superstars of Trinidad and Tobago, like Dane Gulston and Natasha Joseph, who are also part of the Panaz ensemble. And then Charlton Afonso and Matthew Noalo. And we're very grateful to have the support of Mitco, who are providing their Steelpans for us to use while we're here.
Continuous support, right?
Yeah, to rehearse and for the concert itself. And it's a true testament to the power of when instruments are standardized, so that even though we have Mitco Steelpans abroad, we can now come to Trinidad, play on different Mitco Steelpans, but because they're standardized and have the same quality, the transition was seamless.
Yeah. This is definitely no small feat at all. Being able to take Steelpan to an international academic place like Harvard, as I said, no small feat. What do you hope that young musicians and students in Trinidad and Tobago can take away from that, seeing what you guys have done and really taking it to the bigger stage? What do you hope that they take away from that?
I think, well, firstly, to see that like our culture is everywhere, or rather can be everywhere. So even if it's not in a certain place, you can take it there. And that extends beyond just Pan to anything you want to see change in the world or brought about. You have the power to do that, because that's what we've done. We entered a space where there was something that there was lacking, something that we loved, and we loved it so much that we were driven to make it come into existence.
It's amazing how you both met and just both playing Pan and then putting this together, and that is really once again congratulations. We really do love that. Back to the concert. Give us the details of that once again and tell us what you're looking forward to most about this concert.
So the concert is going to be at Napa. It's going to be tonight at 6 p.m. and it's completely free. We are really looking forward to sharing, I think, the progress that we've made in only 2 years, not even that, a year and a half, with Trinidad, I suppose. There are so many people here who are very familiar with Pan, and I think showing our progress as an ensemble. Many of our members didn't play any music before joining our ensemble. They couldn't read sheet music, and Steelpan is the first instrument that they've learnt. So I think demonstrating just what can be done through kind of enthusiasm and collaboration and showing our musical progress.
All right, on a final note, after this concert and, well, your first visit here, what's next for you both and the Harvard College Steelpan Ensemble?
So as an ensemble, our goal this coming semester, Elizabeth and I graduating in May, is succession planning, because we want to ensure that after we graduate from Harvard, that this ensemble that we've spent so much time and effort forming and that has been so fruitful can continue. So it's all about figuring out how we're going to sustain ourselves.
You're probably a little anxious about that. Yeah. But do you have, people who you can trust to carry this on, or, you've kind of set your eyes on, like, they'll be able to do this?
Yeah, not to call any names. I think we have some members of our ensemble.
They're going to find out this morning.
Well, no, in due course. But then also we've made, I think, significant connections within the Harvard ecosystem with various members from different departments and offices, and hopefully we'll have their support in ensuring that this thing can continue well beyond our graduation.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Elizabeth Bennett and Adam Bartholomew, for joining us from the Harvard College Steelpan Ensemble in Trinidad and Tobago today. So much more when we come back.
City 91.1. Thought-provoking conversations, bold perspectives, voices you trust. Talk City 91.1 is launching bigger, bolder, and more powerful than ever before.
Yes, Talk City 91.1 FM.
A brand new era of talk radio is here. With voices you know, trust, and respect. Get ready for an all-new lineup of the very best in talk. Andy Williams, Lennox Smith, Stephen Reese, Mr. X, Derek Charbodi, Roland Stewart, Sharon Farfan, Sudath Prasad, Heavy Duty, Alex Asing, Karen Francisco, Cherry-Leen Lewis, Short Pants, and more of the voices shaping the national conversation. From hard-hitting current affairs to real community issues, culture, politics, social development, and the stories that matter most to you. This is where Trinidad and Tobago comes to talk.
So I'll go right here on Talk City 91.1, where we're going to give you something new, something hot every day, Monday to Friday.
Listen on 91.1 FM and connect on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. New shows, new features, big giveaways. Talk City 91.1, your city, your voice.
And a girl in the middle. That's the one we need to find the middle.
for CZIT's National Secondary Schools Climate Quiz. Brought to you by Fruta.
Come try me, yeah. If you feel it's jolting, baby, I'll back it up. You think you can know me? Try me, come try me. You all what I get in is make we want you papa so, we want you papa so. Listen. I tell you, everyday stress. I cannot take it, baby, next. Oh, boom. I hope you'll find someone else. I really hope you do. I hope you'll find someone.
Bring your team, bring your flags, bring your vibes. Next 99.1 FM is taking over the savannah. Sunday 1st February, we are bringing the energy for Jam Iron on the greens. This one you don't want to miss, and it's all inclusive. So secure your packages early. Get yours today on islandetickets.com. Lock in your spot and lock in your team. Next 99.1 FM, the next level of radio.
Yesterday, for the first time since the Paria diving tragedy of 2022, a tangible gesture of state support was formally extended to those most directly affected. At the Diplomatic Center, the Prime Minister presented an ex gratia payment of $1 million to Christopher Boudram, the sole survivor of the Paria incident, and to the families of the late Rishi Nagesar and Faisal Kurban, the first of several families expected to receive similar support in the period ahead. Now, the Prime Minister was clear. No sum can ever replace a life lost, but she described the payments as an act of relief, recognition, and humanity, acknowledging that for far too long, those left behind carried their grief without meaningful support. For Mr. Boudram, this moment comes after years of public advocacy, legal action, personal trauma, and unanswered questions surrounding accountability and justice. A journey extensively documented in court filings, commissions of inquiry, and repeated calls for compassion. This morning, Christopher Boudram joins us in studio. Christopher, good morning and thanks for being on Trinidad and Tobago today.
Good morning, Amala, and thanks for having me.
I know the traffic was a little bit rough for you this morning, but thank you for making that drive. Christopher, I know it's been a long journey since 2022, and it was filled with so many challenges, legal, emotional, mental, physical as well. And while we know that nothing or no sum of money can ever make up for any of it, how does it feel to finally receive something tangible from the state?
To be honest, is a breath of fresh air. And I don't know how much people know this, but since the accident, I'm unable to apply my skill and trade. And for that period of time, financially, things was tough because everything was just rest on my wife's hands. Loans, bills, everything else just was in her hands, you know, and it was difficult. So this was a really, really, really good breath of fresh air.
As you spoke about your wife, we really wish that she could have made it to be here with us this morning. She's been at your side throughout all of it. I mean, all the years of recovery in many different ways. What has this journey been like for your wife, watching you survive something so unimaginable and still having to fight to be heard throughout all of this?
It's been a very hard journey for her. To be honest, I may not have made it as easy for her as I should have or tried. You know, could have done better. Dealing with the trauma in so many different ways. She was the only person feeling the backlash and the true brunt of that. And I must say she's a very strong woman. To be here at my side still and supporting me. And yeah, it's tough. I know for a fact that for example, there are some nights where random is not like every night anymore, but is randomly I would just kick off my bed, gasping for breath, and she would have to get up whatever hour it is, you know, to be with me, calm me down. Sometimes she at work, and I would call her and say, girl, it's happening again. Between dealing with her work and she speaking to me, you know, it's been rough. Yeah.
Well, Christopher, speaking about family support, I want to touch on the families of the other divers who were left to process all of this pain, and not just that, but also juggle the legal battles that came with it. So I know you've probably been sharing this experience with them, and you've probably been connected with them closely over the years. How would you describe your relationship with them, and how important has that shared support been throughout this entire journey for you and them?
Well, we have become closer, netted as a family. As I said before, their husbands and I were like brothers. And now, you know, because of this incident, it has brought us together closer. I mean, the whole incident for this to happen is tragic, but I think is I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. Christopher, if you would allow me, if you were to speak on their behalf, how do you think that they are feeling now in this moment, finally being acknowledged by the state?
Oh, it's a relief, no doubt. It's a relief. They lost their breadwinners, you know, and this happening now is a relief on everybody. Yeah, you know, they're now would be able to pay their bills, their debts, and, you know, get some way of some type of way for them to be able to help ease the burden of the bills and the stress comes with financial burdens. Yeah, so I mean, it would help a lot.
Christopher, over the years, you've made a number of recommendations based on your experience on everything that has happened and come out since 2022. What specific changes would you recommend when it comes to health and safety standards in the diving and energy sectors?
Well, that's a brilliant question. What I would recommend is that companies ensure that their contractors are properly well insured, and that they are properly well insured, and that they are
equipped to deal with things like this, right?
Hearing with the health and safety standards, you know. In this case, right, despite popular belief, the contractor who I was employed with, right, at MCS, did everything to the standard. You know, this was a genuine accident that happened, right? And what caused my friends, my brothers to die was negligence on the parent company side. They restricted rescue, and it wasn't a lack of the contractor not trying to do rescue. It was Paria not allowing the contractors to do the rescue. You tell me that people in a pipe and you all asking for them to stop trying to do a rescue, to do a document up and get a safety briefing and all these kind of things. People in the pipe underwater, you know. So what should be improved is policies. Policy should be in place, and I think certifications and all these things should be up to standard, right? Up to now, Trinidad and Tobago kind of backward in the marine sector in terms of diving and certification and thing. These things need to be looked at and bring to standards.
Well, Christopher, this process to reach this point that you got to yesterday, it took several years and it spanned 2 administrations. Do you carry any bitterness in your heart now about how long it took for these for the previous administration to make a payment, or are you more focused now on what is going to happen from here onwards?
Well, I wouldn't say bitterness, but at the end of the day, the previous administration treat us like dogs. They didn't try to help us, assist us. The former prime minister, or former prime minister, agreed to only meet us after being pressured by the media and the public. And when he did meet us, it was a written script. He barely allowed us to express ourselves. I had to, in that meeting, I had to interject myself more than once to get a point across to him. And he already had his outcome set, you know. And even after, when the former prime minister now was appointed, he used our case as an election gimmick. All right? You telling me weeks before the election, you know for sure that ex gratia payment wouldn't be able to be, you know, fully completed, the processes to get the check signed or whatever is the case, right? You would dangle that in front of us, right? To show the nation that, you know, you're doing something and you're playing with our emotions and our livelihood, you know, because when I heard Stuart Young announce that they're going to make an ex gratia payment of $1 million, I was ecstatic and mad at the same time. There was so much mixed feelings because how it was done. I heard that over the media. Now, on the other hand, this administration, we was contacted yesterday, the day before, right, in the morning, and they notified us that they wanted to do a ex gratia payment for us and XYZ. And we came up and think the media could hear this from me. In order, people was calling me, Chris, I'll get you with something, And I was like, what are you talking about? But you're not watching the news. And I was like, what? So I had to hear this from the news? And then it was just bait. He just dangled it in front of us because it was weeks before the election and it was just to get votes. So you use our situation as an election gimmick and again exploiting us, because and it's so funny, this was the same guy who was on site, who was promising the families of my friends that they're doing absolutely everything they could do outside there, right? And in the background, outside there, they're stopping everything that could have been done. Do you understand? So I'm really grateful and thankful for our Prime Minister, Kamala Persad-Bissessar, and her cabinet for making this decision. And I'm sure my colleagues and brothers, wives are feeling the same way too. And we're thankful. And I just want to say that, and also to the nation, if it wasn't for Trinidad and Tobago, you know, actually feeling this and seeing exactly and understanding what happened and their uproar, this might have never have been, you know, it might have been swept under the carpet.
There's a lot of support, especially on social media. I'm sure everywhere you went, people were behind you, and that really helped to push forward, right? Mm-hmm. Christopher, on a final question. The Commission of Inquiry made some recommendations, including that company principals be considered for criminal charges. In your view, should those recommendations be have been acted on, or do you still believe accountability has not gone far enough? What more, Christopher, would you like to see happen in all of this?
One of the main people who was involved in this are still employed with Paria right now, right? Michael B. And he said in the inquiry that when asked by Mr. Ramada if he thought that they did a good job, he said yes. And I don't understand why he's still employed. Why he's still there for? What did Paria do to as some level of remand to the employees? You know, what did they do? No, everybody Piper retired, Mustak retired, or I think he was moved to the next location, right? Michael Way is still working there. Why? If you're working in some way and you do a terrible job at something, you'll be remanded somehow, right? And the world could see that this was a terrible job they did. And nothing for nobody. Everybody's still collecting the pension. Everybody's still getting their salaries, while the families and myself were suffering. And again, I'd like to say thank you to the Prime Minister. If it wasn't for we still be February the 25th going to make it 4 years. You know, it's been 4 hard years.
Thank you, Christopher. I know this journey has been really long and tough for you. Also, good morning once again to your wife. We wish she could have been here with us. Any closing words? I know you're saying thank you to the government of Trinidad and Tobago, and on behalf of those other divers and their families as well. Any closing words before we go?
And so I'd like to tell the public, everybody who supported us, thank you very much. All of this would not have been possible if it wasn't for the public. We appreciate it greatly.
Thank you so much. Christopher Boudram with us on Trinidad and Tobago today. When we come back, we've got so much more about Carnival 2026.
It's your mother, she want me buy a bread for she. Oh, it's your mother, she want me buy a bread for she. Oh, oh. Hey, a big scene. Every carnival, and it's that. It's a different kind of vibe. See the girl them a wine and bubble all night in a different kind of style. That is it. See the girl them a wine and bubble all night. Oh me, oh my.
Coming up, Antigua and Barbuda's Black Pineapple Awards, honoring top global travel partners. Competitive drive fuels the road warriors of Barbados. Trinidad and Tobago Carnival season is here, always full of fun and excitement. Multiple destination partners, Barbados and Dominica. Republic Bank's power to make a difference, integral to our culture. It's Caribbean Passport TV on TTT.
Hi. Elvis,
Huh?
Elvis, what's going on?
I've been calling you for the past 2 days. Why didn't you take my calls? Because what? Because you think you're important now. Yeah? Right? That's what you came here to do. To see how important you are. Right? Well, newsflash, lady. You are useless.
What?
Very useless to me. You're as useless as the trash in my kitchen. That's how useless you are. Total waste.
Carnival is more than a season. It's who we are. It's rhythm, color, history, and pure vibes from start to finish. And this Carnival TTT, in partnership with the National Carnival Commission, is bringing you all the major moments live and full of energy. We kick things off with the youths of Steel at Junior Panorama. Then it's Pan Power all the way at Panorama, where the music hits hard and the passion runs dry. Celebrate Celebrate the future of Calypso at the Junior Calypso Monarch and witness the lyrical mastery at Calypso Fiesta. Then step back into history with the reenactment of the Cambile riots. Don't miss the creativity and spectacle of the kings and queens of Carnival. And be sure to stay tuned as we turn it all the way up for the March Gras. Pure performance, pure pageantry, pure Carnival magic. Then follow the heartbeat of the nation with the Parade of the Bands on Carnival Monday and Tuesday, when the streets come alive with color, rhythm, and freedom. Live broadcasts, special shows, all the vibes. This Carnival season, don't just watch it, feel it, live it, experience it, right here on TTT.
TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Just a time check for you. 20 minutes in the upswing to 8 o'clock. Hope you're having a great Friday morning. The weekend is almost here. I'm sure you're happy about that. Well, the Ministry of Sport and Youth Affairs continues to promote fitness and wellness with the launch of Keep Pumping Up Your Fitness aerobics program. The initiative will take place at 7 locations across Trinidad and Tobago, offering free aerobics and Zumba sessions to the public. Minister of Sport and Youth Affairs Philip Watts, alongside sports ambassadors Dwayne Bravo and Keyshawn Walcott, attended the program's official launch at the Evolution Fitness Car Park in Endeavour, Chaguanas.
Honorable Minister Watts, I want to congratulate you and of course the Ministry of Sport and Youth Affairs on a very impactful initiative. What inspired it?
Well, thank you for the congratulations. This is all about creating safe spaces for women and girls, encouraging fitness to encourage healthier lifestyle across Trinidad and Tobago. And this initiative is one of the few that the Ministry of Sport and Youth Affairs will be rolling out in 2026.
Great stuff. Now you seem to be very impressed and very satisfied with the turnout here this evening.
I'm very, very much impressed. What my staff at the ministry told me today is that we have a larger turnout at this event than last year.
Everybody knows, say Bravo, a champion. Now, Bravo, how important is your role as an ambassador for the Ministry of Sport and Youth Affairs?
Yeah, it's very important and not something I'm going to take lightly. And for me, and along with Keyshawn, Puran, and obviously Pollard, as professional athletes, we know what it takes to be successful. Our mission is to try to improve sports on the whole throughout the country, not only the actual sporting side of things, but the administration and also the facilities, which is the most important thing for me, I think. Getting better facilities and better, stronger, sustainable programs is what our aim to try to do as ambassadors.
Ray and of course the Chandra, owners of the lovely fitness center, Evolution Fitness. How does it feel to see the car park packed with so many fitness fanatics?
Amazing, simply amazing. This is what we strive to do. Bring people together, have fun, and be fit.
Great stuff. Chandra, how would you rate the fitness level of the participants I saw?
10 plus. All Evolution Fitness members and patrons of this event, 10 plus.
Lovely. And what inspired you all hosting this initiative that the ministry is executing?
Well, we would have done it in the past, and we saw the response of people. They wanted this event this year, so we decided to bring it and bring it bigger.
You look like you have plenty energy left in you. Where you reach your 50% markers yet?
Long time, but I just love soccer, so I keep pumping. The soccer motivates me.
Excellent. What are your thoughts on this initiative?
I love that it's for everybody and it's free and it's motivation for a healthy lifestyle.
Thank you so much, Junior K. And of course, a shout out to the Evolution Fitness crew, Ray, and everyone else there. Follow us for these stories and more on TTT Live Online. If you have a story idea, a press release, or you simply want to collaborate with us, we'd love to hear from you. So contact us today at tttoday@ttt.co.tt and come be part of the conversation that's shaping our nation. Trinidad and Tobago Today, news you can trust, stories that matter. When we come back, we've got Neval B in studio, his brand new music video, and so much more, his plans for Carnival 2026.
For CZIT's National Secondary Schools Climate Quiz, brought to you by Fruta.
Come try me, if you feel it's jolting, baby, I'll back it up. You think you can know me? Try me, come try me. You all what I get in is make we want your papa so, we want your papa so. Listen. I tell you, everyday stress. I cannot take it, baby, next. Oh, boom. I hope you find someone else. I really hope you do. I hope you find someone.
Bring your team, bring your flags, bring your vibes. Next 99.1 FM is taking over the savannah. Sunday 1st February, we are bringing the energy for Jam Iron on the greens. This one you don't want to miss, and it's all inclusive. So secure your packages early. Get yours today on islandetickets.com. Lock in your spot and lock in your team. Next 99.1 FM, the next level of radio.
Coming up, Antigua and Barbuda's Black Pineapple Awards, honoring top global travel partners. Competitive drive fuels the road warriors of Barbados. Trinidad and Tobago Carnival season is here, always full of fun and excitement. Multiple destination partners, Barbados and Dominica. Republic Bank's power to make a difference, integral to our culture. It's Caribbean Passport TV on TTT.
Yeah.
Raja BAC, that's Neval B joining us this morning on Trinidad and Tobago. Today, DRCL in the Arts as well being represented this morning on the show. Good morning, Neval.
Bless, good morning, Charlotte. It's great to be here this time of year.
Yes, it definitely is. Neval, your journey has been really, really long and a really good one, I would say. You've started singing. You started singing a very long time ago. At what age?
I started singing at age 19, as I could recall. I know it was the year 2005.
Okay.
So that's 20.
You're aging us here, Neval. Yeah, you're aging us, right? You're letting them know the age. But so you started a long time with your family. You come from a very big family, a musical family as well. But you started with one genre. What was the genre you started singing?
I officially started singing with chutney soca music.
Right.
However, it goes deeper than that.
Okay.
Because when I started, doing trials in the band room, I started with stuff like dancehall music, rock music,
any Bollywood?
R&B, yes, everything in the mix. But I'm just showing that it was just random genres because the band has come a long way, 70 years plus.
Wow.
And from one generation,
many generations.
so many generations, and me being born in the 80s, I'm proud. Yes, that gave me a lot of time to pursue, a transition of generations leading up to this year, 2026. But as I say, going back to 2005, that's when I was, becoming Neval B, the crossover artist, delving into so much genres, as I mentioned, and Trinidad and Tobago is such a beautiful place, and when I say I'm a crossover artist, Trinidad and Tobago represents that because we have so many cultures infused, so many things, and I think being a crossover artist really makes me a true Trinbagonian at heart, an Indo-Caribbean artist, however you put it. It's all love, everything, the whole world, I say, is one cosmic family, and through the art form itself, I can express that and feel that within as well.
What's your favorite genre to record and perform?
Well, that's quite complex because I enjoy everything. You see, the energy on stage together with the audience is sometimes, some days I'll enjoy maybe a soca more, some days I'll enjoy a Bollywood more, sometimes a rock, sometimes a dancehall. It all depends on the event, so I can't really pinpoint one genre over the other. I'm a crossover artist, and I just love the energy as it flows.
So your family, as we talked about, is a very musical family, a very talented family. And I'm sure they placed a lot of emphasis on your vocal talent and, just being able to harness your vocal power. Did you have any official vocal training, anything before you started this journey?
Well, all my vocal training started off in our band room by my father, who's a music icon, Teddy Bisamba, my brother Akash Bisamba, and their mentorship has groomed me into being that crossover artist, starting from with Bollywood to soca, rock, all these stuff, because being a crossover artist in a crossover band, it's so diversified, performing for this multicultural nation that we live in. It's so, I appreciate that so much of being this crossover artist, because I love many types of music, and this career allows me to do that, especially with DRCL in the art.
Neval, what inspires you?
So many things, but I'd like to go to the source itself, the creator. I mean, that divinity within, knowing that, we are just a divine sparks within a vessel, this human experience, and knowing that everything in life is temporary and change is the only constant, knowing that we make the best of every moment and look at everything as a blessing. One of my favorite quotes is blessings upon blessings, and thankful, grateful, blessed, and I live this on a daily basis, from eating something. For those who follow me on social media, they'll see a lot of food posting and stuff, and music. Cook? Yes, I cook as well too. One of my things, of my many talents. But it's a matter of gratitude. I'm a person that, expresses gratitude in everything I do. After a performance, I, give thanks for, my band members, the genre, the crowd that, enjoy the music and, exchange of this positive energy. So gratitude is really essential in my life, and that is what inspires me to be present in the moment and fulfill part of my dharma, which music is entwined with.
That's right. I always say the universe loves gratitude, and when you are grateful, you attract so many other, beautiful things in your life. Neval, what inspired you to create the song? At the start of the show, at the start of the segment, we saw a bit of that one. It's called Raja BAC. Tell us about that. Why did you create that song? How did the idea come about?
Well, Raja BAC is a chutney soca track, and being an artist who's always planning, I know you got to release something for the carnival season, and being that we are so busy doing from one season to the other, I wanted to create a track that reflects our carnival itself and reflects so many cultures, chutney music and soca music combined together, chutney soca, and if the video has a lot of cultural expression. When everyone looks into that video, you can see the creativity. I was so, honored and grateful to be in collaboration in the production, doing a lot of the designs together with the videographer. So it was a collaboration between myself and Vibe Nation and everything, I think the universe just put everything in place into here, because the vision of Raja BAC, as I mentioned, is to reflect the diversity of our carnival culture. Besides that, too, Neval B having 25 years in the business together with a band that's so iconic, 70 years in the business. We wanted to reflect, this culture, which we are so really, really passionate about and treasure every aspect of it.
Tell me about the production of this song.
This song was produced by my brother, Akash Visambal, who is our band leader, DRCL in the art, and I must say a lot of work went into it, the music production. In the song, there's a slogan that says, "The future is now." So when you listen to the elements in the music that Akash produced, and with the message of the song, "Move to the Rhythm," which is the alternate name of the song, it shows that the rhythm is not just necessarily the beat, but the cosmic dance that's happening in everything. Raja BAC itself.
What does it mean? Raja means king, right? So what does Raja BAC
mean? Basically means even a king like this, but the full chorus line is Nache Bajake Raja BAC, which is Bhojpuri Hindi.
Yeah.
And that goes back to our ancestral language.
Talking about dancing, right?
Yeah. So it says that even the king dances to this.
I love
even
that.
the king moves to this.
Wow.
So it shows that the freedom of who we are as a people, when you listen to all the lyrics in the song, it shows that we are really expressive of who we are. That expression of art, who we are as spiritual beings, everything combined, body, mind, and soul, into the rhythm of the carnival. Move to the rhythm.
What's next for you, Neval?
Next for me, well, Carnival is here right now. We are focusing on that. But after Carnival, I want to delve into so much other productions, explore my art form, because being a crossover artist, I'm not labeled just as a chutney soca artist. I call myself a crossover artist, and our band is a premier Caribbean crossover band, performing so many genres, from soca, dancehall, reggae, rock, Bollywood, and everything in one. And, together with the frontline, we have Trisha Lee Kelshall and yours truly, Neval B, along with the full cast, and this gives us so much diversity. Her experience together with mine, together with Akash and the full band. Next, we are spreading the wings to even touring. We have a lot of tours for North America, carted by promoters, especially in Canada and the Caribbean and stuff. And we're experimenting with so many things with the talent of Neval B, together with DRCL in the art.
We're so glad that we get to end week number 2 with you. Thank you for being here with us. Neval B, representing the DRCL in the art, Raja BAC. Stream it on YouTube this carnival season and going forward. And congratulations on your success.
Thank you very much.
Well, this is where we wrap it up. Thank you so much to all our guests this week. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, thank you to my team, always, for the hard work and consistency. Your effort has not gone unnoticed. We cannot wait to carry this energy into next week when we do this all over again at 6 a.m. on Monday. We'll see you then on Trinidad and Tobago today. Have a great weekend. Bye.
Lisa Singh from Heavenly Grace Ministries in New York, and I want to take this opportunity to invite you to join me right here every Sunday morning at 6:30 a.m. We have exciting teaching series that is just changing the lives of people. So I'm excited to bring this to you right here every Sunday morning at 6:30 a.m. God bless you.
Carnival is more than a season. It's who we are. It's rhythm, color, history, and pure vibes from start to finish. And this Carnival TTT, in partnership with the National Carnival Commission, is bringing you all the major moments live and full of energy. We kick things off with the youths of Steel at Junior Panorama. Then it's Pan Power all the way at Panorama, where the music hits hard and the passion runs dry. Celebrate the future of Calypso at the Junior Calypso Monarch and witness the lyrical mastery at Calypso Fiesta. Then step back into history with the reenactment of the Cambile riots. Don't miss the creativity and spectacle of the kings and queens of Carnival. And be sure to stay tuned as we turn it all the way up for Dimash Gras. Pure performance, pure pageantry, pure Carnival magic. Then follow the heartbeat of the nation with the parade of the bands on Carnival Monday and Tuesday, when the streets come alive with color, rhythm, and freedom. Live broadcasts, special shows, all the vibes. This Carnival season, don't just watch it, feel it, live it, experience it, right here on TTT.
When it matters, we're there, reporting the news as it happens, because your world can't wait. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Good morning, this is your TTT News update at 8. I'm Carrie Roberts, making the news at this time. In an exclusive interview, Christopher Boudram, the sole survivor of the Paria diving disaster, opened up about the long and difficult journey he has faced since the tragic incident. He revealed that in the aftermath, he had to rely heavily on the support of his family as he coped with the physical and emotional scars left by the disaster. Reflecting on the tragedy, Boudram emphasized that the key to preventing similar incidents in the future lies in strict adherence to safety standards and protocols. He urged authorities and industry stakeholders to take proactive measures, highlighting that the lessons from his own experience should serve as a warning and a guide for safeguarding lives in the diving and maritime sectors.
What should be improved is policies. Policies should be in place, and I think certifications and all these things should be up to standard, right? Up to now, Trinidad and Tobago kind of backward in the marine sector in terms of diving and certification and things. These things need to be looked at and bring to standards.
We'll have more on this interview in a subsequent newscast. In more news, human trafficking in Trinidad and Tobago remains a significant issue, which particularly affects women and girls. This, according to Deputy Director of the Counter-Trafficking Unit, Dane Marie Marshall. The unit hosted a theatrical play to help educate young people about the issue at Queen's Hall on Thursday. Trinidad and Tobago is regarded as both a transit point and a destination for human trafficking, with women and children being the primary victims, largely for the purpose of sexual exploitation. Deputy Director of the Counter-Trafficking Unit, Dane Marie Marshall, stressed that these crimes are happening openly in society, and the real issue is whether people are willing to recognize and acknowledge them.
Human trafficking is not a distant crime. It is not just a story in the news. It's a girl in Sandy Grande, a boy in Diego Martin, a woman in Couva. It is organized, profitable, and evolving. This performance is our act of resistance. It is a call to act and not just to observe.
An investigator attached to the unit, WPC Jenna Scott, enlightened the young people on key issues.
Types of human trafficking. Let's go sexual, labor, domestic servitude, and organ removal. Right? And we are the counter-trafficking units where our unit compromises of police officers, defense force, immigration,
So it's a collaborative with all of these units, and we investigate the crime of human trafficking. Human trafficking is a very lucrative business. You all know the meaning of lucrative? Money making.
January is National Human Trafficking Prevention Month, and the Counter-Trafficking Unit is taking the opportunity to teach the public about the crime. In other news, secretaries and assistant secretaries of the Tobago House of Assembly are set to be sworn in on Monday, January 26, 2026. The announcement was made by Chief Secretary Faria Gustine during the first plenary sitting of the 2026 to 2030 THA session on Thursday.
Excellency, the President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, Christine Carla Kangaloo, will be on island on Monday morning at 11 a.m. to administer the oath of office to secretaries and assistant secretaries of the Tobago House of Assembly.
For a second term, Assembly member Zorisha Hackett was appointed leader of Assembly Business of the THA, with newly appointed Councillor Adana Joseph Wallace appointed deputy leader. Mr. Augustine also thanked Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar for her leadership in the amending of the Tobago House of Assembly Act.
That amendment, the quorum of this House has been increased in keeping with our expanded membership. Through that amendment, the artificial cap on the number of secretaries has been removed, allowing for more effective governance and proper distribution of responsibilities. And through that amendment, we have corrected an outdated practice by ensuring that women in this House and little girls across this island are no longer referred to as assembly men, but are now properly recognized under the gender-neutral and respectful term assembly member.
In some sport now, the Trinidad and Tobago men's under-20 football team will take on the Grenada under-20 team in the final match of the Invitational Series at the Atterbolden Stadium this evening. The match, which is scheduled for an 8 p.m. start time, follows a 6-0 victory over St. Vincent and the Grenadines and a 5-0 win against AC Port of Spain on Wednesday. The series of friendly matches are geared at providing key match preparations as TNT, led by head coach Marvin Gordon, are preparing for CONCACAF Men's Under-20 World Cup qualifiers set to begin in February. And that was your TTT News Update. I am Carrie Roberts. Have a great day.
This is TTT. Live for local.